Thank you, my husband, for all that you have done. Thank you for making marriage so sweet, so blissful. Thank you so much. I celebrate and I love you so much. All right. Oh, I see Minister Yetunde. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome. Celebrate you so much, ma. All right. Okwebi says we celebrate you. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for celebrating my husband. His relationship talk. So please pardon me. No, don't pardon. I'm not even sorry. It's my husband. Joy says some of us are children here. Oh, this is pressure. Oh my God, singles. Don't worry. Just don't be pressured and don't be peppered. And just anticipate, right? Just see the picture. Say, oh, it's a beautiful picture. Don't worry because you see we cannot stop. We cannot stop. I love you so much. This is for my husband. Anyways, Sandra says I'm single and very expectant to the fulfillment God has said. None shall lack a bit. That's it. And that as a help, I must encounter my midst. That's it. I expect direction that will lead me to be aligned to what God has for me this season. My husband, wherever you are on this earth, I call ourselves in spiritual life in Jesus' name. And I say amen to that prayer. So you cannot marry a miss. You cannot marry a miss. And also so that you know, this session is not only for married people, it's also for single. Because I always say this, you don't get to the war first before you start praying for war. It's not when you enter marriage, that's when you start learning about how to navigate marriage. We're going to hear more when we start. The choice is now, let me get out, so please go hug your husband. If your husband is beside you, can you just give that man a hug? Just hug and kiss. It's allowed. It's allowed. This is relationship session, okay? You hug your husband. Don't feel pressured. And if you are single, it is well. Don't worry. Very soon, just save it. Put aside cooler and save it. All right. Thank you so much. Let's take one or two expectations. Our time is running so fast, and I have a lot to say. God has a lot to say to us this night. So, one or two expectations. What are your expectations for this session? Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm loving the energy. It's getting me super fun. What are your expectations? My apologies, I won't be using the slide today. But after this session, if you want the slide, you can just send an email to us. And if you register, you should get an email from us. So you can just reply to the email address and requesting for the slide. And also, guess what? There is a bonus PDF for everyone in this session. So I have 3 bonuses. As in, who does that? I have 3 resources to give out for free. Like, people should just celebrate me small, because I was looking at the resource, I was like, are you kidding me? And it's only for people that attended the session. So the first is 10 communication rules that your marriage needs or your relationship needs. So of course, you don't have to be married to have that, to know that. The second is marriage prayer and declaration sheets. And the third is questions singles ask, or questions that singles must ask. Because I'm coming for single, don't worry. Because as a single, you don't just go and mingle without having knowledge. You don't go mingle without expectations. All right, let's go. So Faviel said, my expectations for this evening is to learn to become a better version of myself for my future relationship and marriage. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's beautiful. So let's get right into it. All right. So today we are talking about relationship recalibration, strategies to have a blissful marriage. And the first thing I want to say to you is this: marriage is not automatic. Please follow me carefully. Marriage does not run on autopilot. There is a blueprint. There is a structure, because marriage didn't just happen. It didn't just happen. So there is a how to navigate marriage. There is a process. There is a working that needs to be done to sustain marriage. Marriage needs to be sustained. It is not something that just, you just say, oh yeah, I'm married. growing up, all these fairy tales, they did us more harm than good now. So they will tell us a story of how a prince and a pauper fell in love. How many of us know Cinderella story? Please, let's name it in the chat. Let's go, let's go. Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. All those fairy tale stories they were telling us when we were small. And then we had this ideology that, oh my God, all we need for marriage is just to fall in love. And when you fall in love with the person, and then they will end the movie, and they will say, and they lived happily ever after. How did they? That is one of the most misleading, or let me say, that is one of the most vague statements, because for you to experience bliss in marriage, there is a working to be done. It's not automatic. Love is not enough. Love is not enough. So follow me carefully. I hope you have your notes and your word and everything right here. After this meeting, you would not live the same way. So whether you're single, you're engaged, you're newly married, or you've been married for years, I want to first say thank you for showing up. And this tells me that you are intentional about working out marriage. You are intentional about having a blissful marriage. You're not just throwing your future into the cloud. You're not just leaving your future to chance. And you're not just casual about doing things God's way. You are very intentional. And I want to thank you for it. And your future self, we thank you for it. Tonight, we'll be honest, to be faith-based, and we'll be very practical. I'm very blunt. Yeah. And I'm going to say some truths. Okay. So now, before we go deep, I want to let us know this session is not to shame anybody. It's not to point fingers. It's not for blaming anyone. It's not for you to weaponize wisdom and knowledge. Understand? It is a safe space for growth. It is a safe space to get the knowledge that will set you free. The Bible says that ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So, if you are married, hear me. Please don't listen to gather evidence. Don't listen to fight. Listen to hear. Listen to gather wisdom. And if you are single, don't don't be afraid. Don't listen to be afraid, or to find a reason that, okay, I cannot do all this. That's why I can't get married. Listen to prepare. Listen to prepare. So let's go. We're going to be learning about strategies to having a blissful marriage. And here is what we're going to learn about. First of all, we're going to learn about the truth about marriage and God's purpose for it. Because you see, a lot of things have been watered down. Marriage has been watered down that we don't even know. The marriage, as a designer, it is a system that was designed. It didn't just happen. It's not just chemistry. It's not just attraction. It didn't just happen. It is a design. And for every design, there is a designer. All right. So we're going to first of all learn what God's purpose is for marriage. Okay, number two, we're going to learn about myths that we actually believe that we must unlearn. So you learn the myth and then the truth. Also, I'm going to learn about practical strategies to build a healthy, stable, and peaceful marriage. Note that I said build. So building involves work, involves intention, involves process. You gotta put in the process. And then you're going to learn about clear recalibration steps, whether you're single or married, right? Clear recalibration steps to reset you to position for having a peaceful marriage. I always say this to everyone I meet or I counsel. Marriage is hard work. Let's be factual. Like I said, I'm here to tell you the truth. Marriage is a lot of work, and you have to be willing to put in the work. If you don't want to put in the work, don't even bother to get married. Because, see, there is no system of success that does not have a process of work. Someone should write that down. There is no system of success that does not have a process that involves work. So marriage is hard work, but it's highly rewarding. It's hard work, but it's needed. It's not a work that will pull you down. It's not a work that will drain you. It's a work that you are capable of. And the reason why we need to know God's intention about marriage is so that when He's not looking at this, you can go back to the drawing board and say, where are we missing it? Or for singles, you can have a picture of what it is like. So when the wrong thing comes, you can say, no, this is not what it's looking like. So marriage is work. And contrary to the popular opinion, say there is the popular opinion that we have culture society that is the woman that built. No, I know the Bible says a wise woman built her home. Yes. But, or in addition, it takes both the man and the woman to actually build a home. So, because of that, a lot of people now thought that the success of a marriage is hinged on the woman. Men, I wish it was my husband saying this. The success of a marriage or the failure of a marriage falls on the man. Of course, the man is the leader. When we look at God's blueprint, we see that God made the man the head of the house. The head is the leader. So the head is responsible for whatever happens. If you are in, for those of us that are in corporate organizations, if something happens to the team, who takes the blame? The team lead. The team lead cannot give excuse and say, no, but it's one of my team members that did not, it's not what we're supposed to do, and that's why we failed. The team lead takes the blame. The Oga takes the blame. So the success of a failure of a marriage is hinged on the man. And how do I know this? When Adam and Eve, in the beginning, when they sinned and God came to the garden, God did not call Eve. He said, Adam. He asked Adam. He was expecting Adam to take responsibility. Adam says, no, it's the woman you gave me, oh. God did not call Eve and say, Eve, where are you? He called Adam first. So the man is the head of the house. And that's just by the way. All right, let's go quick. So, first of all, I want to let us have an idea of what does recalibration mean. So when we say relationship recalibration, there is a reason to that. So recalibration means adjusting back to the right measurement. It means resetting back to the normal standard. Because you see, there's been a lot of wrong standards, wrong ideologies about marriage. In fact, social media in that area, social media has done more harm than good because we see a lot of stories about marriages that failed, than marriages that are successful. We see a lot of putting out of things that didn't work rather than things that worked in marriage. So recalibration means adjusting back to the right measurement. When something is off, you don't throw it away. When something is, sometimes you just need to align it. Sometimes you just need to put it back into alignment. So a lot of marriages, a lot of relationships did not break up because there was no love. They broke up because something was missing. There was no recalibration. There was no knowledge about what they should do. And let me tell you something. Love is not enough. Love is not enough to sustain a marriage. So the gish, the chemistry and everything. Say, oh, I love you too, and everything is good. But that would not sustain a marriage. So, aside from love, you need skills. You need processes. You need to know. You don't enter a city without knowing how to enter. If you do that, you will not get the best of the city. So when we understand that marriage is a system and you need to learn about it, why do you think when you get married, they give you a certificate? In fact, we call it an institution. What is an institution? An institution is a citadel of learning. So marriage is an institution. The problem is that many people go into marriage without having a clue of what it takes to make it work. People just go and say, let's just see. When we get to the bridge, we cross it. You can't get result like that. By saying when we get to the bridge, we cross it. People don't even so many people don't even know that there is a need to actually learn about what you're going into. I started reading about relationship when I was about 11. I started reading books on relationship. I started reading books on sex. I started reading books on dating. And it really helped me. I had a picture of how a good marriage should look like. I knew that there is a work to be done, and I don't have to be the only one to do the work. It has to take the work of both partners. So I have a picture of the kind of man I want to get married to. So it's not when you now enter the marriage, you now start reading marital books or going for marriage seminars or relationship seminars. There is a need for preparation. So the reason for a recalibration is that a lot of us didn't know. And like I said, this is not a session to blame anyone, but it's a session for you to identify this is where I am at. This is what I need to do to recalibrate so that I can get desired results. See, one thing with strategies, when you apply them, you will definitely, if you apply them the way you should apply them, you will get the results. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4. It will not equal 5, right? In normal maths, 2 plus 2 always equals 4. So sometimes what we need to do is just to a little readjustment, a little realignment, right? To focus and do the right thing so that we can get the right results. I wish we had a lot of men on this call. I don't know why men don't used to like to attend seminars and all these things. Hey, for our men, mentorship, counseling, this is well. This is well. But it is to show that if as a woman, you can start knowing the right thing to do and start implementing, and then you get the right results. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So I want us to correct something that society has, given to us erroneously. Marriage is not a contract, it's a covenant. It's a whole sermon on its own. Marriage is not a contract. You see, a contract is that this thing, if it fails, I'm out. But you see, a covenant means I'm going to stick with this thing. I'm going to make sure that I build it. I'm going to make sure that I grow it. It might not look like it, but I'm going to put in the work. And that's the reason why divorce cases have skyrocketed. Because many people are not seeing that marriage is a covenant. When you commit to marry someone, you are entering into a covenant. And that is why people say marital vows. You see, those words are not just words. When you go and look at the meaning, it has deep meaning. Marital vows. Now, just to balance it, because marriage is a covenant does not mean that you should not tolerate abuse or you should not stay where somebody will kill you, right? Or you should not say, they say marriage is a covenant, I cannot live. How about counsel people through process of separation? I always say this. Anything that poses a danger to your life, it's not worth it at that moment because God is more interested in your life than your marital, your marriage. Because if you lose your life, that's it. That's all. See, marital contract is to death do us part. Once a person dies, that's all. I 2 times now I've done a session. Maybe I'll do it next month. I had 2 sessions on emotional abuse in relationships, and I hear a lot of stories. After the session, a lot of people come to me, and my heart just breaks. There is no justifiable reason, and I'm going to say this on the side. There is no justifiable reason for you to stay in an abusive relationship or marriage. There is no justifiable reason. Your mental health is important. Your um your life is important. Okay, you are important because you have a purpose. You have a purpose. All right. You have a purpose that transcends your marriage. So, and that's by the way. So when I say marriage is a covenant, it does not mean that and a covenant you have to build. I'm saying that you have to build, make sure that you will grow this, you will make this thing work. Not um at the first instance of challenges bailout. All right. So covenant means we will do the work. We will seek help. We will grow. So if something is not working right, we're going to seek help. If there is something that we are not agreed on, can we just reach out to somebody that is a professional to advise us? And I want to say this counseling is not only for when you have issues in your marriage. People just think, oh, well, it's when we start having issues, we should see a counselor. Some people don't even like to see a counselor, right? A professional or a certified counselor. So people don't like to see a counselor. But counseling, because at every stage of your marriage, you are learning. So you have to seek counsel. Sometimes you don't, sometimes me and my husband, we don't agree on some things. And we have to now go and say, okay, let's go and seek counsel because when I'll say this is how I'm seeing it. He will say this is how I'm seeing it. And because you'll be amazed at small issues that have caused divorce. Small issues that have caused divorce. I'll be like, if they're just taking time to seek counsel, it would have worked out. So, seeing marriage as a covenant means that you're willing to do all it takes to make it work. You're willing to build it. You're willing to grow it. You're willing to put in the work, both male and female, to make sure that you experience peace. Right? And let me tell you, God did not create marriage for suffering. Marriage is not meant to be endured. There's nowhere in the Bible or there's nowhere in the Holy Book that says, you have to endure. No, I've not seen. You see, I mean, we'll talk. Just slide into who we say it. Where a woman has to endure this thing. No, marriage is not meant to be endured. It's meant to be enjoyed, not endured. So what's God's blueprint for marriage? Because you see, if we do marriage outside the blueprint of the one that created it, we cannot get the desired results. Even if it looks as if it's working, it's gonna be short-lived. It's gonna be short-lived. So, what is the blueprint? When we look at Genesis 2, verse 24, it says, a man shall leave his father and mother, cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. So there are three powerful instructions here. The first one is live. And live represents maturity. Live represents independence. Live represents priority. So wherever you have to get to a level where you are matured, you're independent to be able to get married. You're stable financially, emotionally, physically, materially. And I'm referring to both male and female. See, marriage cannot thrive where external people are the loudest voices. We see this in counseling session. When you get married, you see your spouse becomes number one. No, aside from God is number one, your spouse is next. Not even your children, not your parents anymore. Because you are joined together and you're now one flesh. You're living to cleave. You're living to cleave. So when you get married, your spouse becomes important. We always say this, that you do not shame your spouse in public. No matter what anybody say, you defend your spouse. You defend your spouse. So that's, if you want to hear more, come for counseling. Come for counseling. All right, so since leave, that's the first of maturity. Cleave, that's number two. Cleave means loyalty, commitment, consistency. Cleave means to hold tightly. Meaning that at every form of discomfort, you don't run away. And to let me say, to sound a note, marriage is not a bed of roses. There will be conflicts. We teach them in counseling session. So knowing how to navigate each conflict or each challenge is what determines the success of the marriage. There will be conflicts because you're not married to a perfect person. You yourself, you're not perfect. So many of us, if you live with yourself, you will fight. You come to think of this. Even your siblings that you grew up with, like you literally grew up with, you guys have the same background, you have the same, you're exposed to the same information, you guys fight. Not to now talk of someone that is coming from is a lot, a lot. Hmm? You're coming from your own a lot, different background, different ideologies, different things, and now you are how to live together. So there will be conflicts, there will be challenges, there will be time you will disagree, but you disagree to agree. So I'm not here to tell you that marriage is don't I know just it's a bed of roses. It's not. But you need to know how to navigate those seasons. And it's a continuous process. Me and my husband, we are we get to disagreements. We disagree to agree. We disagree. We have different personalities. There are things my husband does I do not like. I don't talk it up. There are some things that I do. He does not like it. And we, compromise. So that's what marriage is about. Does not mean that you know how to be. Some people don't like, say, I don't just want to fight. You will fight. But the fight is not the breaking bottle and breaking. That's not the kind of fight I'm saying, But you're going to disagree on some issues. Let me quickly share one. When we got married, I'm an early morning person. My mother trained us to be early risers. So as early as 5 o'clock, we are awake to whatever thing we have to do by 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We are done with house chores, washing, sweeping. I know that time there's no the tap borehole is not as popular as it is now. So we have to get and fetch that from government. And so I'm an early morning person. I was already used to that process. In fact, when we go to vigil, when we come back, mom will not allow us to sleep. We'll finish all our work. Then we'll not be back. We'll not sleep. So I'm that person. My husband, on the other hand, see, my husband cannot, he cannot wake up early to save his alarm clock. If he has any early morning meeting or probably prayer, he'll tell you, please wake me up every time, even till now. So when we come by, I didn't understand. I used to get angry that see, I've woken up since because this man just sleeping. And we both slept the same time. How are you not able to just wake up and stand up? My husband is kind of person when he wakes up, he wants to still relax on the bed. He will still stretch for like 5 to 10 minutes. So if I want him to do something, maybe by 6 o'clock, I'll wake him up by 5:45. So by the time you do all your sleeping, lounging, and everything, 6 o'clock, we shall do what we have to do. So, but initially I didn't understand. And do you know that alone would have caused a whole lot of issues? Because I started to get angry that by the time you're awake, I would have practically done everything that I want to do, everything. And you're just there sleeping. How can you even be sleeping when I'm awake? How can you not even know that? And I used to assume that my husband should know what I'm thinking. Like you should just know what I need. I've thought about it in my head, so you should automatically be able to pick it. And the man does not just. And I'll be angry that, say you don't know that you're supposed to just know it. Say, yeah, you did not tell me, how will I know? And so we had, the disagreement on how to learn about temperament, about love languages, how to take, so this is the husband I married. So I had to learn to live with the husband I married, not the husband that I wish to have, while we work together. So there is no perfect person. There is no perfect marriage. There is no marriage without challenges. People that celebrate 20 years, 35 years, when they come with chronicles of the challenges they faced, you'll be amazed. So they didn't just get there by mere chance. There was a process. They worked it out. They worked it out. So you're not perfect. That's the first thing you should just know. Yet I'm not a perfect person. I'm not going to marry a perfect person. You will not marry a perfect husband. You will not marry a perfect wife because you yourself, you are perfect. You're not perfect. Ada, you're not perfect. So there is a work. There is no time in your life that you will not have something to work on. And you see that a lot of people have had issues in their marriage because they do not understand the temperament of the person they married. One of the things we take in premarital counseling class is we let couples learn about the temperament of their partner. You need to understand. Some people, it's not because they are bad people. If I had to just, I process things fast. When I say something, I want it to be done like sharp, sharp. Just do it immediately. I have to do it to my standard. The quality of a choleric. I'm a choleric. Cholerics in the house. Hello. So my temperament is choleric, but I have the spirit control temperament. And amen. So I didn't know. And also, I'm the firstborn. Only girl in a house full of boys. So I'm used to bossing and ordering boys around. I have brothers that I just tell, do this and do that. So when I got married, I'm already used to it. So sometimes I talk to my husband and I just, it comes out as an order. And he'll just tell me, he says, I am your husband. I'm not your brother. So that is you're giving me an order. You have to see it. I'm like, but how did I say it now? I just said it normal. This thing. I didn't even know I was choleric. But he knew that I was choleric. So when the choleric attribute was coming out, he was able to navigate it. He didn't get offended. That why is this? Why are you talking to me like that? Am I your mate? Am I not the head of the house? And I'll be like, so little by little, I started to understand. He's a sanguine, he's San Mel. I mean, yes, it's handmade. So it takes life easy. You see, me, I'm calculating. Two different people. He's the spender, I'm the saver. Husband likes to enjoy life. I'll be calculating what's the next thing. So I had to, be able to adjust. And sometimes we now have to come to a compromise. Of course, after many disagreements, I grew up not being able to express. Somebody offend me, I'll not talk. I'll just change. I'll just cut you off. That's my own. Once you see that this person, I just cut you off. And so when we have issues, I'll just keep quiet and my reaction will change. Also, I will say, yeah, let's talk about it. I'll be like, there's nothing to talk about. Nothing really. And they'll be like, no, let's talk about this. And they will not leave me until we talk about it. And at the end of the day, I've realized some of the things that I was angry about it was not intentional. It was a misconception. So there is a working that needs to be done. That you have to disagree to agree. I tell people sometimes you have to, if you arrange your wardrobe, I don't know if it happens to a lot of people, but me, sometimes after a while, after I arrange my wardrobe, I just say this thing is too scattered. I just scatter everything and rearrange it from scratch to achieve the result I want to achieve. So sometimes you might need to disagree to agree. All right, let's go quickly, quickly. Let's go quickly. So, cleave means to hold tightly, meaning you don't run away at every discomfort. And number three, it means it's becoming one. Becoming one. That is unity. Unity all around you. Emotionally, physically, spiritually. And this unity is not about losing yourself. I once taught a section about married but single. How that being married does not mean you lose your identity, you lose your singleness. However, being married does not mean that you lose your assignment. So you are yourself in the marriage, in unity with your partner. That's a topic for another day. So it's not about losing your identity, it's about always being aligned, in agreement, being on the same page. As a married couple, if you want to get married, you know that you have to always be in unity with your partner. You guys have to always agree. Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together except they agree? They cannot. So you have to be in unity. I have issues with some people that think that my wife, why would my wife know my bank account? Why would my wife know my PIN? I spoke to a man and we just talking. I was like, oh, your wife will just take your ATM card and do shop. I was like, why would she do that? She does not. Why would she even know my? Why would she even know my bank details? And I'm like, marriage is unity. When you get married, you and your wife, you are one already. She is you. You are practically the same. Different people, but in unity. So if your wife does not know who should know? I mean, come to think of it, someone that has seen your nakedness, what is remaining now? And somebody has seen everything. So what are you now keeping? Someone that your life is practically in her hands, or your life is practically in his hands. What is remaining now? So what are you gonna hide? Eh? You're a man on this call. It's not good. I spoke to another one that he says in his marriage that he doesn't speak with his wife. And I'm like, I don't understand. He doesn't have discussion with his wife. So when he gets him, it's just the wife just come and serve Oluwan, like serve him, and then that's what she goes to her own corner, he goes to his own corner. Only when they need to, you know, to have intercourse, and that's all. And I'm like, that is not marriage. Where is the unity? There has to be a synergy. There has to be a synchronization that's becoming one. There has to be chemistry. Like people will you see you outside and know that these two people know that. If you see couples that have synergy, they're aligned, you will know because they just got you will know it's not something you can fake. You can't fake it. That's why there's an issue in a marriage. It is not you can't even hide it. You can try to mask it, but it will show. So becoming one is being aligned. Being aligned. Oh my God. I also said only during genital meet and greet. I heard that is from someone. I was like, what in the world is this? You know, genital meet and greet. So it's when they want to do genital meet and greet, that's when the two of them relate. It's not done like that. There has to be unity. And that's why you see a lot of people just they get married and they lose themselves. They become a shadow of themselves, and you start wondering what is happening. Marriage is meant to enhance you. It's meant to make you better. It's meant to make you glow. If there is no glow, there's something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Let's go quickly. Now we're going to talk about the purpose of marriage. I hope you know that every marriage has a purpose. We teach that in marriage counseling too. God is the author of marriage. And you see, God does not do things just for doing sake. So marriage has a purpose. Because it's a design, it's a system that's been designed. So there is a purpose. What is the purpose of marriage? Because if we don't understand the purpose of marriage, we cannot live to the expectations. If we don't understand the purpose of marriage, we cannot live to the expectations of marriage. So there are many purposes when we look at Genesis. When you look at Genesis chapter 1 to 2, and we see the purpose of marriage. But I'm just going to name about four key ones. Number one, marriage is for companionship and partnership. The reason why we're starting from this foundation is to let you know, in case you didn't know, the major reason for marriage, the number one reason or purpose for marriage is for companionship. Bible says that, and God saw that it was not good for man to be alone. I will make for him a helpmate, not a wife, not a childbearer, the first intention was this man is alone. There is an assignment that is meant to be done. He can't do this work alone. So I will make for him a helpmate, and they will come together with a purpose. I'm going to give them. You see. So it wasn't God. God did not even say, I'm going to give Adam a wife. He said, I'm going to give him a helper. A helper. And a helper is someone that has capability, the same. Oh, I teach this in my women community. The importance of you as a woman, as a wife. You're not inferior or subservient. You're a helper. A helper is someone that has the same or higher capacity to be able to handle work. So if you are single and you want to marry, one of the things to ask is, does the man have work that he can help with? Does he have purpose? Does he have a goal? Does he know where it's going to? We'll have a single session maybe next month. All right, let's go. Great. So it's for companionship, partnership. It says God created marriage so that two people can do life together with support and strength. The Bible says two are better than one, so that they can be. You see, God did not create anyone to do life alone. I'm telling you, life is not meant to be. No man is an island. Cannot survive this life alone. Cannot survive this life alone. So number two, marriage. One of the purpose of marriage is for growth and refinement. I. You see, a lot of people don't know that marriage is a revealer. Marriage is made to help you grow. Marriage is not a destination, it is a journey that reveals you, that enhances you. So it is meant to be a catalyst, right? That will help you get to your destination in fast. Because two are better than one. So it's a revealer. I used to tell people that if you like, date someone for donkey years, if you're not cutting mind, you cannot know some things. Marriage is not a changer, it's not a changing machine. It does not change people automatically. Let me quickly share a story with you guys. I dated one guy and he was humanizing, and then after he does his own this thing, when I come and say, don't worry, let me get married, I will change. Like wait, so if you can deceive everybody, don't be me, you could deceive. Marriage does not change anybody. In fact, it enhances the person, it reveals the person. So it will reveal the strength, reveal the weakness, reveals the strength for it to be capitalized and enhanced, reveals the weakness for it to be worked on. 20 years married, there is still something to work on. A dear friend shared a story about I should be married for 17 years then. And something happened, and she just realized there was something that probably a trauma that she had picked up that she didn't know that surfaced after 17 years. After 17 years of marriage. After 17 years, guys. And there's still something. So there will always be something to work on because marriage is a reveal, it reveals. Some things will come to trigger, even things that you don't know it's going to be there. It's a different ball game when there is just you and your husband, or you and your spouse, you and your wife. It's a different ball game when you have one child. It's a different ball game when the child is a baby. It's a different ball game when the child is 3 years, is a toddler. Each stage reveals. So marriage is for growth and refinement. You have to grow. That's why you can't be married and you are decreasing. I sometimes my heart goes out to a lot of people. There was one dear person I know before this person got married. She's vibrant, up and doing. She's financially stable and all that. And she got married to this guy, and over the years, she's like a shadow of her former self. So what she earns per month now was what she used to earn per day. And I understand that there are seasons of life where, things might be down now. But when it becomes the way of life, when it becomes, but that becomes the constant reality, then something is wrong. If you're married to a spouse that is not intentional about your growth, in fact, singles from relationship, these are things that you begin to put into consideration. So instead of dating and doing genital meet and greet up and down, ask questions. Ask questions. That's why we're telling you the purpose of marriage. So you have an idea. This is what the expectation of God is concerning marriage. It's meant to make you grow. It's not meant to put a stop to your career or to stagnate you. No, you ought to be better because two, you imagine someone you're carrying a load, only you, and the only one carrying the load, and someone comes and helps you carry the load. Your journey becomes faster. So, number two, for growth and refinement, marriage stretches you, marriage matures you. That's if you understand and you go through the process. And that is why you cannot afford to marry any other person. When Abigail married Laban, this Laban was a foolish man. In fact, if not because of divine intervention of Abigail, she understood something. The whole generation of Laban would have been wiped out. So if you are single, you need to be careful of who you get married to. Because iron sharpens iron. But when iron meets a stick or a wood, two things happen. The wood gets damaged and the iron gets blunt. Did you get that? When iron meets a wood, if they clash together, the wood will get damaged and the iron will get blunt. So marriage is for growth and refinement. Number three, marriage creates structure for family and generational blessing. Create structure for, the Bible says that God is interested in raising godly seeds. Why do you think, if marriage is not important, why do you think the devil is really fighting marriage? If the battle against family is so fierce, because God has structured marriage, the family, as a medium to raise godly seeds. And I say this, you need to be intentional about your marriage because your marriage reflects on your children. It shapes them. It determines if they will grow up with trauma or they will grow up with structure. Because children see, they model what they see. They model what they see. So that's why it's not even, having recalibration is not even, it's not a, this thing, it is a must. It is a must. I taught this in a class and I tell them that your decision in choosing a spouse is not just for yourself. You are making decisions for your generation. You're making decisions for generations. You are choosing your child's future mother. You are choosing your child's future father. I know we say, we came to this earth, we did not choose our father, we did not choose our mother. Somebody chose for us. It's not good. Somebody chose for us. Our mothers chose our fathers chose our mothers. If your mother had married somebody else, that somebody else would have been your father. If your father had married somebody else, that somebody else would have been your mother. Do you understand? So every decision you make maritally affects generations. It doesn't stop with you. It doesn't just start and stop with you. It spills over to generations. Some of us are suffering from trauma that we received from our parents, that has been passed down, trauma they've received. And that's why someone used to say that, send to me. ends with me. Move past that trauma. That's why you need to learn. I need to know so that you can be free. So let's go quickly. So for legacy and stability, marriage helps to create structure for family and generational blessing. It's a medium to birth and raise godly children. Can you see? Can you see? That's why the person you are married to is very important in the agenda of God. If you're not married, you're still single, the person you're going to marry is very important. Do you know that the choice of a partner is one of the greatest decisions of your life? In fact, one of the most important decisions in your life. Because let me tell you, the number of the years that you spend being married is more than the number of years you've spent being a child, being under your parents. The highest, when you're 18 years old, you really are. Some of us were like, when we were 18, we say, Mommy, I'm an adult. That day, I see, I'm an adult and I can make decisions. But you will get married for 30 years, 40, as long as you live. So when you get married, you're married for the rest of your life. So a larger proportion of your life is hinged in the marital institution. That's why you need to think very well before you make decision who you will spend the rest of your life with. Do you understand? The rest of your life. That means that if you live to be 120, which is the standard, some of us want to be 150. Amen. So if you live to be 120 and you get married at, let's say, the age of 25, that means you will be married 95 years. That's a very huge chunk of your life. A very huge chunk of your life. That's why you can't just, and it's 95 years of work, of process, of learning, of growing, of learning, of becoming. So it's a means to raise godly children, to create structure for family. It is what the children see, the model, what the model becomes a continuum. It's the reason why we have a lot of societal decadence today is because it's rooted in the family. I'm telling you, it's rooted in the family. If you see any child misbehaving, the first thing I blame the parents. I don't blame the child because your child is a reflection of your parenting system. So your child is your report card. Your child that tells you whether you have passed or failed. So when you understand that destinies are tied to you, generations are tied to you, and you can't leave it to chance. You cannot just leave it to automatic. It helps you to put in the work. It helps you to know. It helps you to learn. It helps to do all that it takes just to make sure that you nurture the purpose of God concerning marriage. So society just says when you are high on emotions, you just lost or have feelings for one person, and that's all. Just get married, and that's why you see people are getting married today. Next, in 3 months, they are divorced. And you're like, I don't understand. And they had the chemistry. They had the chemistry. When you come for counseling, you hear many things. And we don't have time. Let's quickly go. So, marriage is not only for romance. Marriage is not only for chemistry. It is for purpose. It is for partnership. It is for growth. It is for structure. It is for leaving a legacy. Now, let's redefine bliss. When we hear marital bliss, please, we are about bliss. Strategies to having marital bliss. Strategies to having marital bliss. You're like, easy bliss. Now, I want to teach you something about bliss. Bliss does not mean the absence of conflict. Bliss does not mean the absence of trouble. Oh, there'll be trouble. Yes, there'll be trouble. As I said, singles, don't be scared about you. You have to do some fighting. There'll be troubles. So bliss is not the absence of trouble. Bliss does not mean you will never disagree. Bliss does not mean there will not be hard seasons. Bliss does not mean that there will not be times where you have to make a very difficult decision. Bliss does not mean there will not be time where you have to compromise. Bliss means that when the pressure comes, you have the strategy, you have the structure to ride on the problem and to get success. That means that it means that when pressure comes, you have the tools, you have everything you need to handle it, to face it. Please means that when conflict comes, you handle the conflict, that it brings you closer rather than tears you apart. Bliss means that you can recover, you can repair, you can reconnect. Bliss is knowing what to do in every season of marriage, knowing what to do to undo every season of marriage, because marriage comes in seasons. There are seasons. There are seasons in marriage. When you, if you are sensitive enough, you understand when you're going from a season to the next. There are seasons in marriage. I want us to move quickly. So peace is built, love is built, respect is built, intimacy it is cultured. It has to be sustained. I've seen married couples that the fire of intimacy died. There are times in seasons of marriage that you will not feel like, you will not feel attracted to who you are married to. There are times that you can even resent your partner. See, if you do not cultivate intimacy, if you do not cultivate peace, if you do not build the love, if you're not sustaining it, it's gonna go out. It's gonna go out. A lot of people, a lot of married couples, when children come, they forget about themselves, and then they burn out. Then unintentionally they separate. They are living together. But thank you so much, that is to say, fuel the flame. So there is a fire. There is a fire that you need to be servicing. So these couples are living together, but there is no intimacy. There is no intimacy. So you have to be intentional about building the intimacy. Even with the children, I told you, okay, so for some of you that saw the video where I was talking, so this is what I was saying. So I was telling him that it's been a long time it took me out. And so I was giving him charge that it's been a long time it took me out. Please give me 1 minute. You see, I'm sorry. So I was telling him that it's been a long time that it took me out. So I was telling him that. So he said, really? I said, you have to be intentional about it. So he said, I should not worry. It's going to take me out on a date. So you see, there is no time that you should not, even when the children are there, you need to intentionally fuel the flame of your romance. You need to intentionally cultivate your love. You need to intentionally do that. So bliss is not the absence of conflict. Bliss is the strategies that you use to navigate those challenging times. It's the peace you have in the midst of the storm. Let's go. So I'm going to say some myths and truth. So because we've heard some things about marriage that are not true. They are not true. And it's become the norms, it's become the standard, because that is what we see all the time. When you open social media, you see a lot of advisors, a lot of counselors. Hey. And then they begin to push out an ideology that is not true. See? So something might look like something might be a fact, but it's not the truth. I hope you know that there is a difference between fact and truth. So it might be a fact, but that doesn't mean it's the truth. Or not all facts are true, but all truths are facts. Not all facts are true. So I'm going to take a couple of myths and I'm going to say the truth. So I told you we're here to unlearn, relearn, and learn. To have a basic understanding of the expectations of marriage so that we can know what to do to have marital bliss. So, myth number one is love is enough. So, there's this common thing, oh, if you love the guy, that's all. I love this guy. I love him. You love me. He loves me. She loves me. And we set love as the standard. And we think that that is going to sustain the marriage. So many people, oxytocin, and people don't know that attention breeds affection. The more you spend, the more time you spend with somebody, the more you become close to the person. So people are high on oxytocin, and oxytocin is an hormone. It's a hormone in the body. It's the one that lets you feel it's called love hormone, right? So, the love is there, and like, I can't see you, I can't sleep if I don't see you, team. I can't sleep, I cannot eat if I don't see you. Some of us have been there. Oh God. And we think that that's enough to sustain marriage. So when people go into marriage with just that, and they don't have the knowledge of how to navigate communication, of how to handle conflicts, they don't even know their temperament. After the whole emotion, this thing, the eye go clear. Marriage is an eye opener. If love is blind, marriage opens your eyes. Hey, some people, though their eyes were opened when they got married. So love is not enough to sustain a marriage. Love is powerful, but love needs other things to work out. Love needs wisdom. You will ask how that, you know, some people love each other. They love their partner, but they still hurt them. I've heard cases of people coming to me and say, okay, their partner is cheating, right? And this person comes and says, I love you. So how do you love someone and still hurt them? And truly, they love them. They love them. The chemistry is there. So love is not enough. Love needs to be, love is part of it. Love is very good. Love is not enough to get married. In fact, do you know that we've had couples that got married and they didn't even like themselves, but eventually, see them now, their chemistry is so tight. Love is something that can be, it can be cultivated, can start from scratch. Maybe there is this beautiful auntie of mine, and when she wanted to get married, and God was just directing her to a brother, and she was like, how that we ladies, we have our spec now, tall, dark, handsome, and each, it has 6 packs, it has to be built. So I think someone said, I cannot marry a man that is short. Okay, all right. So, and this man is not a spec. So she didn't like him. And God says, and she said she heard from God and says, this is your husband. I'm like, and she's like, eventually, she got married to the man. And now their marriage is close to 20 years. And the chemistry is there. It builds the love. So love is something you can. And I just told you that you have to sustain it. Even if the love is there when you get married, if you don't sustain it, if you don't fan the flame of love, it will fizzle out. So love is not enough. Love is not enough. It must be supported by wisdom, understanding, self-control, honor, and knowledge. Myth number 2. A lot of people are on this table. A lot of people. In fact, many people have been deceived by this statement, by this myth. Myth number 2 is marriage will change them. when I get married, I will change. I just told you the one that told me that. Say, don't worry, when I get married, I will stop all this thing I'm doing. When I get married, I will not drink again. When I get married, I will not gossip again. When I get married, I will not. That's a myth. The truth is, marriage does not fix character. In fact, it reveals what the person is. It's an enhancer. Marriage is not a fixer. So if you're here and someone tells you, don't worry, when we get married, I'm going to change, I'm going to be, know that it's a lie from the pit of hell. Marriage is a revealer. So I've debunked that myth. That's why I used to say, I used to teach this, that don't marry a person without character. Don't marry someone that is not teachable. In fact, your dating life is a reflection of what's going to happen when you get married on a larger scale. On a larger scale. So, if someone does not have character, even when dating, marriage will not automatically make the person have character. If someone is disrespectful about dating, marriage will not make the person respectful. If someone lacks honors, dishonors about dating, marriage will not automatically make the person an honorable person. I used to tell singles some of these things, that's why you have to have a value system, and your values must align with whoever you want to marry. Your values must align, because marriage will not fix anything now. And you're not assistant Holy Spirit. You cannot change the person. You cannot. You don't have the power to change anybody. You can only intercede and work the process. I have a lot of people, I counsel some brand. They've already made a mistake. And I tell them, first I tell them is need to be. You've already done it. I'm not blaming you, but you have to do the work. The bulk of the groundwork will start from you. And it's a lot. It's a lot of process. You have to come to cancel the paper hour. The paper hour. And the counseling session has to be back to back. And God now help them. Because the counseling cannot be completed until the partner is there. You cannot cancel one person. You cannot resolve any marital issues with one spouse. The two of them have to be there. And God will now help the person. The spouse should not agree to see counselor. It's always grieving. It's a harsh. It's a terrible. My heart goes out to people, but there's nothing to be done at that time. Cannot do, but you can fix. But the process of fixing it is tedious. So if you are single, you don't want to even go through that route. So when someone tells you, when I get married, I will change. Run. You see, carry your two shoes there. Carry it like this. Don't do it. A big Chris. Run for your life. Do you understand? All right, myth number 3 says, if it's God, it will be easy. And I've seen a lot of believers on this table. They will think that because I hear God, God says he's my husband. Automatically now, God has said he's my husband. So there's no need to just go and expect the man to be perfect or the woman to be perfect. God has said he's my wife. Oh, you just expect that, automatically you just be like Holy Spirit. Many of us, we actually expect our partners to be Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is perfect. It's the perfect, one of the perfect personality you can ever see. There is nothing you think the Holy Spirit cannot collect. And so because we heard from God, we had our convictions. In fact, there were confirmations like, this person, and the person is spiritual, his spouse is spiritual. I hears from God directly, or she hears from God directly. We now think that it's going to be easy, or we don't need to do the work. Sir, ma, that's a myth. That is from God. Doesn't take out the work. When you look at the work of grace, grace doesn't exempt work. That is from God just means that you are aligned. So it is easier to walk the process. So some journeys, some battles that if it is not from God, you would have to face alone. The two of you shall agree and you shall chase 10,000. Anything that is valuable, anything that is successful requires cultivation, requires work. God did not leave out work for man. No. We have this ideology, and I want to just stay on this a little because we think that, oh, because he's God, that means that it should just happen automatically. Grace does not exempt work. If it was going to be like that, then the, God would not have told Adam to till the land. He will not say, let me get him a help. He will just say, oh, the guy cannot do the work. Let me just, there is a work. Even if it's God, there is a work. But it's just that with God, it makes the work easier. So when the challenges come, you're not the only one facing the whole thing. You are doing together. There is an understanding. There is a spiritual alignment. There is a synchronization. There is a synergy that makes your two to be bound. Now, I hope you know that marriage is not just a union between a man and a woman, according to God's standard. Hey, I know if you go on Google and you type what is marriage, in fact, see Google definition will come and turn your head with all these leftist ideologies, right? But when you look at God's standard, the Bible says is a threefold cord that cannot be broken. So, according to the God's standard, marriage is the union between a man, a woman, and the Holy Spirit. And God, three fold cord. Yoruba has an adage that arometa ubododobenu. Like three, is it three stand now? We balance, the pot we balance on three stand. Do you understand? So the cord that cannot be broken is the threefold cord. So God is important. You can never leave God out of your marriage. You can never. If not, it will be, see, the storms of life will just throw you anyhow. The challenges will just tear you apart. But when two of you are in synergy with God, it's hard to tear it apart. Will the storm comes? Yes. How do I know? There is he that built his house on the sand, and there is he that built his house on the rock. The storm came and destroyed the house that was built on the sand. Now, I didn't say because the other house that was built on the rock, the storm did not come. The storm came also. But because it was built on the rock, it stood. So either way, storm will come. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. Some will come. Quickly, myth number 4. Submission means silence. And this is for the ladies. Submission has been misinterpreted. It's one of the most, marital is one of the most misinterpreted words. Even God will be shocked that, why these people say what I'm not saying? Why are you interpreting what I'm not interpreting? Submission does not mean being subservient. It does not mean being inferior. It does not mean being quiet. It does not mean oppression. It does not mean it does not mean endurance. Remember, I said marriage is not meant to be endured, but to be enjoyed. Let us sink. I will enjoy my marriage. And don't I will talk about that myth too. So submission does not mean being a fool, being foolish. It does not mean being stupid. It does not mean allowing yourself to be bamboozled. It does not mean not having a voice. Submission is not a situation where one person is non-existent. You see, marriage is partnership. You need to understand that. And the Bible says submit to one another. So submission just means accountability. Submission just means aligning to agreement. Right? Knowing that I am accountable to this person. So I can't just make decisions on my own. If I am single, I can just go out. When I was single, I can go anywhere I like. In fact, I can decide that I'm not coming back this night. I don't want nobody any explanation, right? I am living on my own, by myself, for myself, all under God's control. But the moment you choose to get married, forget the thing, forget that I can do it. You cannot. You have to submit to your partner. You have to be able to, I want to go somewhere. If plans change, you have to be able to say, plans change. You want to buy anything, you have to be able to let your partner know. I heard the story of Saheb, the Safela Duratoye, and it just intrigued me. He wanted to buy a power bike for himself. Now, guess what, guys? This is his money. He made, as in, it's his own money. Like, his wife has her own money. They have joint. So, like, his own money, she could have just gone and just gone to buy it. But guess what? He came home and he told his wife and said, I really saw a power bike that I loved and I would like to buy it. Should I buy it? Guys, that's accountability. He could have bought it. It's his money. He likes it. And if his wife had said, I don't think you should buy it now. Maybe. If it was very important, it would have made us see that, but I need it for something. But that's what submission means. It does not mean that you don't have a say. See, a lot of men shortchange themselves because they have rendered their wives voiceless. So, counsel, wisdom, ideologies, strategies that should come from them never came. And they will go make the mistake and carry the whole family with them. Not everybody will bear the brunt of the mistake now. Everybody will face the consequence. So you need to understand what submission means. It doesn't mean being foolish. It doesn't mean letting somebody to slap your head up. It means accountability. It means submitting to one's opinion. It means that whatever decision you're making, you can't be the sole person making that decision. And if your partner does not agree with it, you might need to make a compromise. That is submission. Simply accountability. Means mutual honor. So it says, the Bible does not interpret submission the way people are interpreting it. Even pastors have misinterpreted submission. Ephesians 5 verse 21 says, submitting to one another in reverence to Christ. That means holding one another accountable, honoring one another. It teaches roles and responsibilities, but it's never manipulation. It's never intimidation. It's never abuse. I've heard gist of, what is well, African mothers. You tell someone, just stay, that the man is the head of the house. You have to be submissive. Submission is not accepting intimidation. That is not God's plan. That is not God's meaning. It's not being abused. It's mutual honor. It is accountability. A godly marriage is not one that one person's voice is voiceless. It is not one where one person is not a marriage that one person is relegated. It is a marriage where both people, both partners are valued, are heard, are protected, and honored. God did not call anyone to remain in danger. If you know God, God is a loving father. The Bible calls him a loving father. So he is not wicked to now say, go and endure. God calls us to order and honor. God calls us to order and honor. So submission does not mean silence. Okay, let's go. Oh, quickly, let's just take the calibration strategies and then we'll close very soon. I remembered one myth now, but I've forgotten it. When I remember, I'll talk about it. There are a lot of them. In fact, maybe I'm going to compile. I'm going to make it's a document of common marital myths and truth, the corresponding truth, so that we can know. I'm going to do that after this session, maybe during the week. So if you need it, just send an email. So let's go to recalibration strategy. So you might be here married and say, oh, I wish I'd known some of those things. I would have made a better decision. Or okay, I didn't know I have to put in the work. I didn't know. I thought it was automatic. I didn't know that we have to do this and that. I didn't know God's purpose for marriage and all that. There are recalibration steps. You can get back on track. So I used to tell people something. There's no marriage that can be saved, except that there's no marriage that can be saved if the two people involved are willing to work. So let me balance it. If one partner is not ready to do the work, until the person is ready before the marriage can be saved. Because marriage can't stand on one pillar. Can't. It can't. One person can build a home. Can't. One person can build a marriage, rather. The Bible says a wise woman built her home, Abi. It didn't say a wise woman built her marriage. It's different from marriage. Marriage is an institution, home is the dwelling. Let us be able to tell it apart. Because people have misinterpreted and replaced home for marriage. So when they say, a wise woman builds her home, oh, you have to be able to, to be able to hold your home is different from marriage. Marriage is an institution that is a journey. Home is a dwelling place. So, 7 strategies. If you apply these strategies consistently, your relationship will be different. There's no how. So, no matter how far you've gone on the wrong lane, you can always take a U-turn and turn back. The journey to turning back is the beginning of progress. So, don't blame yourself. Don't feel bad. The purpose of this webinar is to help you think about, what do I do next to achieve marital bliss? Strategy 1, align with God's blueprint, not culture's noise. So you have to do away with what culture is saying, what society is saying. You have to unlearn what they've told you, what your probably your mother have drummed into you. For women, we grew up with the ideology that, and I think you have to know how to do us just so that when you get married, you'll be able to take care of your husband. We were built up, raised with the mentality that we have to be taking care of a man. I'm sorry, I had to ask. As a man, baby, because you see, a woman will travel. When a man travels and leaves the house, sometimes when I travel, I go to Lagos for conference or for speaking engagements. People now ask me and say, where are you? And I say, oh, I'm in Lagos for a conference. I'm like, what about your husband? He's at home now. Like, who will take care of him? And I'm like, he can take care of himself. Who was taking care of him before I showed up? I don't understand. I don't understand. So do away with, you see, all those rubbish. I see the question is always very funny. Stanis is laughing. Coach Ify, and do you know that if the man travels, nobody asks them. Even the man will travel and live with the children, and leave the children with the woman, and nobody asks the woman, how are you going to do it? But just leave and leave the man. And some people just flip when they now hear. Say, how about your kids? I say, they are with their father. Will he be able to take care of him? Is it not the one that gave birth to them? I did not carry child from my house now. Eh? I did not. It was when we married that we. So there is not only me. We two of us. We had equal. We had equal commitments. It is the two of us that did it. Yes, thank you very much. That is to share equal responsibility. I remember when my babies were I wanted to give birth. My husband was in the labor room. It's not let me. It was there for my three kids. It was in the delivery room. When it's midnight duty, so I just wake him up. It's your turn. I want to sleep. It's not let me. I mean, you can come. I'm not the only one that I did not give myself pregnancy. It's you that put it there. So it's equal responsibility to come and do your share. Do you see? But culture, we say, why would you have to take care of the man as if the man is incapable? I said, my mom is on the call celebrating, ma. My mom said, you both enjoyed it. Abina, we both enjoyed it now. Eh? It's two of us that did it together. Abba. So let's go quickly. So you have to be able to align with God's own blueprint, not culture or society's rights. Because if you don't define your marriage according to God's ideology, the world will define it for you automatically. And you don't need to say, no, I'm not going to align with. There's some things that we learn subconsciously. What we see constantly, what we hear constantly, enters our subconscious mind and becomes our result. So culture often defines marriage with selfishness, with competition, with pride, with unrealistic expectations. February. I'm going to please I'm going to do a session in February. Please watch out for it. Unrealistic expectations, especially on the woman. Praise the Lord. So a godly marriage is built on values, honor, peace, truth, respect, loyalty, kindness, accountability. You know, that's what a godly marriage is built on. So that's if there's a marriage that does not have this value, something is wrong somewhere. So the step to recalibration is unlearning, removing all the world, the societal mentality or influence that he has on your marriage, and aligning your marriage to fit God's ideology. Marriage built on God's wisdom may be tested, but it won't collapse easily. It will be tested. Like I said, the house that is built on the rock will be tested. Either ways, whether you build on rock or sand, it will be tested. Strategy number 2, build friendship on purpose. Be your husband's friend, be your wife's friend. I don't, I have issues when people say, I cannot, you can't have a conversation with your partner. How nah? A lot of people are married legally, but they're not connected emotionally. Now, this we say in counseling is that you have to be able to be able to vibe with your partner. Sometimes my husband is my gossip partner. Sometimes we call sorry. We don't gossip, we talk about people. We gist. If I see something, I just say to you, can you see this thing? And then we'll go, he's my friend. It's not only when we want to do when we want to, have intercourse that we just come together and say, we know you, I know you. We have conversations, we talk about a lot of things, we gist, we pray. So we are connected emotionally. So building friendship in marriage means that you feel safe, means that you enjoy each other's company. See, me and my husband, we work from home. Yes, coaching me. We don't gossip, we gist. We don't gossip, we gist. We work from home, and most times we are like, we don't, if we don't have to go out, sometimes we don't step out of our house. Like, is that throughout the day, both of us are inside. Don't step out of the house. Because there is this emotional connection. So there has to be friendship. You have to be able to talk, to be able to have discussions with your partner. So now here are practical tools. You can build it. If you don't have it now, you can start building it to by little. One of the things we teach in counseling is even there are times in the day, just put away your devices or anything. Have at least 15 minutes chat with your partner. Let them talk about the day. Let them talk about how did your day. For those that go to work, how was your day? What happened? You see, for couples that have this emotional connection, who told you men don't gist? Hey, men gist. They gist more than women. If men bring gist, God, guys have gist. Eh? Who says, ladies, we are learning. In the matter of gist, instead of maybe we can elaborate our gist though, but interesting gist. I can't even count how many gist. That's why I used to gist to me. I just say, me, I did not notice this one. No. Maybe if you go out, you just say, did you notice this one? I did not notice. And then we'll talk. They ask, how are you really today? How was your day? Just to spark up a conversation. Have weekly friendship time. Number two, you can try to have a weekly friendship time. Friendship time. You can take a walk together, you can share a meal together, just a simple activity. You can go on a weekly date. It's not something expensive, even if it's just a pie. Just go on dates. And sometimes me and my husband will just go on dates. It does not. Okay, I said he has changed. Let me not call him out here. He said he has changed, but it's been a while actually. We'll just go out, but we bond. We are most times we're almost at home together. So we just go out and we just leave the children. Super like why do you live? You know what we even used to do? Every holiday like this, carry the children, go and meet grandma, I beg. I need time to bond with my husband, I beg. People just go and meet your grandma and your grandpa, you know. So we have to be intentional. If you have to do that, you don't have to have your children, for you people that have children, you don't have to have your children around you around the clock. Sometimes you need to take a break. Give yourself a break. You need to take a break to just nurture, quickly stoke the fire that is already dying. Because there is no time you're stuck in the cycle of work, the caregiving for the children, and paying the bills, and you actually don't have time to see yourself. So you need to take a break. So do an activity. You walk, just go and get ice cream. Go for a drink. If it's just a drink, you can just go somewhere nice. Go for a drink. And it's not that you will go there and you'll be pressing for, because now I see people say they go on dates now. And during the dates, as everybody's on their phone. And I'm like, what's the essence? Number three, learn your spouse's love language. Learn what makes your spouse feel loved and respected. You have to know your spouse's love language. Because you see, many times people show love, but the other person is not receiving the love because that's not the love language. We are automatically, we give love the way we receive it. Like someone like me, my love language is act of service. I can serve for Africa. And I love it when people serve me. And you go, when you start, God, you have touched something. But that's not my husband's love language. So initially, we're not speaking the same love language. So it looks as if this person is not showing me love. But they are showing love. But the other person is not receiving it. So learn what your spouse love language is. There is no how you speak a person's love language that you will not touch. It is not possible. Some people's love language is receiving gifts. Some is word of affirmation. Sometimes the person just want to hear, don't worry me, I just enough. I just love you. Some people is word of affirmation. Some people is act of service. Some people is gifts. And this is for someone, you can go and read up the five love languages by Gary Chapman, so you know all the love languages, and you can have more knowledge about it and how you can implement it in your home. So a blissful marriage is built in small moments, small consistent moments. If friendship is weak, romance remains, it becomes fragile under pressure. Romance, what makes romance, what strengthens romance is friendship. Remember, I said attention builds affection. So the more you pay attention to your spouse, the stronger your romances. So you can start small, 15 minutes. Just even if it's just to watch a movie together, watch a news together, listen to something together, just lounging on the when during my counseling session, they said, make sure that something is always touching something. You are sitting at the dining and you are having a meal, let your legs be touching. Yes. Let it touch. Something must always touch. And that's why I have issues with people that couples that have different bedrooms. That's the story for another day. Let's go. Number 3, master communication. You see, this one is a whole course. Communication in marriage. This single skill, this single thing has scattered many homes. Miscommunication. The inability to communicate effectively, to be able to pass the ideology or receive the intention of your partner. So you have to master communication. If you have to go and take a communication course, please do. If you have to learn more about communication, please do. If you have to, because communication is not just the words you say, it is your body language, it is your tone, and your voice. It is more of your body language. That's why sometimes you are not speaking, but you are speaking. That's why the adage, action speaks louder than voice. That's why it exists. Because by just your body language, you are saying a lot. So many times conflict is not even about the issue. By the time when we do counseling for some couples that have issues, when we narrow down the part, you will see that the thing that caused the whole casala is just one small thing, one small misconception. And this is why we always love to have the two couples, we call them together and they'll say, okay, what is the problem? And this person talks and he says, and he came and he did this and he did this. Another person was like, why did I do that? Yes, now you did this and that and that. People say, I was not even referring to you. It was because I was thinking I was coming with something else and I was reacting to that. I was not even, and you just look, I'll be like this. And just by getting them to say this thing, the issue is almost resolved. So communication is key. Communication is key, right? Learn how to and when to talk. Learn how to structure your tone in a way that would not fuel the issue. Communication, if you are angry, just don't talk. If you need to take a walk, take a walk. Communication is stewardship. And your mouth is a tool. You should use it to build. Sometimes we say a lot of things when we are angry. We say things that we don't mean, but you see, words are like egg. When they come out, they are broken. You can't take it back again. You cannot. So, and you see, when we are angry, we don't reason. The frontal lobe is blocked. You're just, when you're angry with someone, all your body is screaming, I just want this person to hurt. I want you to feel the pain I'm feeling. I want to inflict you with so much pain. And that's why in parenting, they tell us, do not beat a child, especially when you're angry, because you're not thinking straight. At that moment, you just want the person to feel pain. Like, how would you? So learn when to talk, learn how to talk, learn what to say. Communication. Let's move. So we have I have a communication tool which I structured CLEAR. It is an acronym CLEAR. I'm going to give you a simple tool, CLEAR, CLEAR, that can help you with communication. And of course, if you have to take a communication course, please do. Please do. Please do. So clear is the C means calm down first. If emotions are high, pause and take a breather. Do not react when your emotions are high. In fact, there's the 20 seconds rule. Is it 20 or 10 seconds? But I used to do 20. But my children used to test my patience, so I have to learn emotional intelligence. So sometimes when they make me angry, I just so learn to the 20 seconds. Okay, learn to calm down first before you even say anything or you react. Just breathe in and out for 20 seconds. Just count 20. 1 up to 20. By the time you get to 10 step, you're already calming down. So that you can be able to think what you want to say through first. And be able to assess the situation well. Sometimes when we are angry, we don't see the details and we just assume. Jump to your assumption. So calm down. Calm down first. Number 2, the L. Listen to understand. Many of us, we listen to respond. I used to do it too until I learned communication. Okay, what do you have to say? Just listen. I'm picking, things to attack the person. And we don't listen to understand. So listen to understand, not to respond, not to defend, just to understand. Let the person say this. And you actually need it for your children also. It's a life skill. As a leader, you need it. Because I always say this to people, you can't avoid conflict in this life. People will always offend you. You will get angry. Anger is a feeling, it's not who you are. It's a feeling that comes, an emotion. So it comes and it goes. So listen to understand. Number 3, the E. Express without attacking. Many times we want to just, I tell when we are upset, we want to attack the person. So there's a way you can express your feelings without attacking the person. We learn more in communication. So using words like, you always do this is wrong. But instead, use, I feel hurt when this is being done. You see, when you use I feel, it takes away any form of attack. But when you say, this is what you always do, you attack the person. So use I feel most times. You will see that your words, no matter how boiling the situation is, your words just brings it down. Hey, our time is fast, but let's run quickly. So, A, ask clearly for what you need. Don't hint, don't punish, don't give silent treatment. Ask, learn to talk, learn to speak. This is how I'm feeling, and this is what I need. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I don't like. I feel like this, and I want you to do like this. So ask for what you need. And the R is repair quickly, apologize, forgive, reconnect. There is a 5-minute rule that I give couples. Never be angry with your spouse for more than 5 minutes. And if you are dating, you can engage this. Never. Don't allow it to exceed 5 minutes. Once it's 5 minutes, even if you're not, you apologize. So apologize, forgive, and reconnect. Make sure the repair is quick. Do not give out space. I marvel at couples that keep malice for days, and they be like, they don't talk to each other. And when they need to communicate, they'll call the child. Hey, go and tell your daddy that food is ready. Okay. Go and tell your mommy that this one and that one. Oh, prepare quickly. Prepare quickly. All right, let's go quickly. Number 4, undo conflicts with honor. See, so conflict is not the enemy. In fact, conflict is good. and conflict will come. Conflict exposes an area you need to work on. So it exposes your weakness. So it's not an enemy. So when you have a conflict, there are rules to handle the conflict. And one of it is, don't insult your partner. Never call your partner names. Never say, "Hey, you stupid man, you useless woman." Never. No matter what, do not do name calling. Do not. Number two, no threatening divorce during arguments. I will back, I will divorce you, I will leave you. No, don't. Don't do that. Don't do that. After a while, the person just, yeah, I'll be going. That is not a fair fighting rule. Number three, no silent treatment. Well, all of us are on this table. Me, I'm not on the table again, anyways. But all of everyone that is on this table, please get down. Let's carry that table. Go and burn it. When our spouse will do something to us, I will just give attitude. What is that? Nothing. Good morning. Good morning. And the man is like, or the woman is like, are you okay? I'm fine. Should I get it? Don't worry. And in the room, and you're just doing yourself. This one is doing his own. Couples that keep malice. You guys do it. Hello. So no silent treatment. That's not how to solve conflicts. Number four, handle one issue at a time. So when there's conflict, when there's a disagreement or there's something, set a time to talk about it. Now, if you take one issue at a time and you cannot reach a consensus or a conclusion, then you seek professional help. Seek professional advice. It does not mean that your marriage is, or you don't know how to handle marriage. Seeking for help is one of the strategies of life. You need to be able to accept help. Number five, take breaks when emotions rise. So when your partner is angry, you are angry, that is not the time to discuss the conflicts. That's not the time to solve it. So when everybody's emotions are high, just take a break. If you need to take a walk, do that. And I said already. If you need to just clear the air, sometimes stepping out and let the cool breeze blow on your air, on your head, helps a lot. Number six, when you now return to resolve, not to play the blame game, not to win the argument, and not to punish. Return to resolve the conflict. The goal of conflict is not to win. The goal of conflict is to expose an area where you need to work on and to solve the problem and make the relationship stronger. That's what conflict does. It strengthens the relationship, but how you handle it determines the results that you have. Number five, reset your expectations and responsibilities. Many of us, we go into marriage with different wrong expectations. I told a couple of people, and I told them, you are responsible for your joy. Your partner is not responsible for your joy. You are the one that is responsible. You don't wait for nothing to make. It's not making me happy. Make yourself happy. Do you understand? So you have to reset your expectations. You have to reset your responsibilities. Sometimes many disappointments are not hatred, they are unspoken expectations. Like I was expecting my husband to be waking up, I went to marriage with the mentality that, hey, my husband, and anyways, I was expecting my husband to be rising early with me. And when the expectation was not met, it started leading to conflict. I had to reset my expectation. I had to say, this one is not a constant K in marriage. I beg. This man is not a money person. Let me just leave him. And I just said, so if I needed to do something in the morning, I tell him, and I wake him up. right? So reset your expectations, reset your responsibilities. Ask yourself, what do I expect from marriage that only God can give? Sometimes our expectations, we expect a lot, and only God can give that. Only God can give you joy. Ask yourself, what have I assumed without communicating? Ask yourself, what responsibility am I avoiding while demanding more? So, three questions I want you to ask yourself, probably after this call or later. Number one, what am I expecting from this marriage that only God can give me, but I'm expecting my spouse to give me? Number two, what have I assumed without communicating? Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. It's the lowest form. And many marriages are broken on basis of assumption. Number three, what responsibility am I avoiding while demanding more? Strategy 6, protect your own with boundaries. Protect your own with boundaries. We have one more strategy to go and then we close. Set boundaries. Boundaries are not bad. Set boundaries. Protect your own. Your boundaries. What you don't protect, you will lose. Anything you have that you don't protect, you will lose. I know how many people behave in their with their cars when they, especially guys. I know men like cars. So there is this, once you cannot do anything with their car. And I've seen my husband many times, he will just clean the car and this and I'm like, so anything you don't protect, you lose. So protect your own boundaries. Boundaries from family interference, boundaries with friends who poison your perception, boundaries from family interference. You know, many extended families have crashed marriages. And that's why we say in counseling, you have issues, don't go and tell your parents. Yes, we say it. Don't tell your parents because there is no how. There will be, what's it called? There's no how that the judgment cannot be fair. The judgment cannot be fair because there will always be, this is my, the oh, there will always be the fact that this is my daughter. So you cannot do wrong. Do you understand? Do you know in the medical field, a um a spouse, like a father cannot operate on their children. Families cannot operate on each other. They cannot because the judgment is clouded. It's clouded. The reasoning will be clouded. Okay, I'll take three questions again. The reasoning will be clouded. So protect your family, your home from family interference. Set boundaries. There's some things that you just do that the mother-in-law can just come and say, and you people, you already know, this is how we run things in our home. I'm like, but it's not supposed to be like that because of the ideology they are carrying, the mentality. They now see some things as, as wrong, or this person is using my brother's head, or is using my sister's head. Do you understand? So protect your family or your own from family interference. The three questions. Okay, let me just copy and paste it. What do I expect from marriage that only God can give? What have I assumed without communicating? And what responsibility am I avoiding while demanding more? So I'm just going to paste in the chat. What am I expecting from marriage that only God can give? So that's it in the chat. You can take it from there. So let's wrap this up. Protect your home from friends who poison your perception. Not everybody around you is happy with your progress. In fact, some people are not happy that you are in a blissful marriage. So you need to be able to discern friends who poison your perception, and set boundaries. Friends that some friends that their own is not even that they were planning for you or something, is their mentality. is their values. Someone once told me that she had to stay away from someone that has a mentality that it's in a man's nature to cheat. Anyway, just you see men, they cannot do without cheating. He said, no, I know this is wrong. She had to withdraw from the person. So any friend that does not have the mentality or value that you have, set boundaries. Protect your. Number three, set boundaries with unhealthy emotional closeness outside your marriage. That lady that is just your bestie, is just an office friend. I heard one time that something and said as there's office wife and office husband, and I'm like, what the heck is that? Office wife and office husband. Any emotional connection that is outside your marriage is unhealthy. Don't form bestie. It's my bestie. She's my bestie. Which bestie? Your spouse is your bestie. Bestie yourself. I'm not saying don't have friends. You have friends. What? Don't bestie anybody. Don't. So set boundaries with unhealthy communication. If you used to have a bestie before you got married, let the bestie understand that you can't be besting the way we were besting before. Because I don't know why were you besting and you cannot get married now. The best person to marry is your friend. So why didn't you guys just even get married? But anyways, any unhealthy emotional connection outside your marriage, set boundaries. Because you see, this thing has affected marriages. Just harmless relationship. But we just used to talk. We just used to gist though. He just used to tell me his problems. Remember that attention breeds affection. So it's not saying don't have relations with the opposite sex. It's just saying let's see when it's going beyond the LD line, set boundaries. Cut off from the person. Protect your marriage. And lastly, protect your marriage against digital content that reshapes your appetite and expectations. And I want to say this, it is not right to watch pornography, whether married or whether single, because pornography resets your brain in a bad manner. Pornography is not accepted. It is not recommended. Do not, please, do not. It sets unhealthy expectations, give unhealthy pictures. All those people that do pornography, they are acting. You can't base your. So any digital content, thank you, Coach Ify, and X-rated movies. Don't say, baby, I'm married and I'm matured. I know we can handle it. Your mind, the way the mind works, if you get your brain to a level of pleasure that it has never experienced before, trust me, that sets a standard. I'm going to enter people that use sex toys. Please don't use sex toys. Don't use sex toys. See all these things. They are machine. How do you want to you know compare human being with machine now? Because what all these things does, what they do is that they create a level of pleasure in your brain. And you see, the way God wired our brain, we always seek for improvement. So when you are exposed to something that is higher than what you've known before, you begin to crave it. That's where I am. That's the root of addiction. Root of addiction to whatever, anything, to drugs, to sex and everything. Because your brain experiences a level of pleasure that it has never experienced before. So it sets that as a benchmark. The same thing, if you've been to a place before, maybe an hotel, very nice 7-star hotel, and then some other time you have to travel and check into an hotel that is not as sophisticated as the 7-star hotel. Unconsciously, you compare. Even though somebody else will see that hotel and be like, wow, you won't experience that satisfaction because the bar has been set higher. I want to stay on this a little. Protect yourself from digital content. Gist about people that their marriage has failed. People that say marriage is scam, men has come, men are this one. Different stories about that no matter what this person did, this person, they were married for 10 years, they now divorced. Don't consume those kind of content. Protect yourself from that. Protect yourself from any form of content that will alter your home in any way. Your home is very important. Remember, I said that you will spend the rest of your life in that place. So it is worth protecting in case you don't know. In case you don't know. Let's round this up. Protect yourself from friends, bad friends. The Bible says that evil company corrupts good manners. So for men that you have friends that I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't manage, but my friends, they do that, me, I don't do that. Very soon you will do it. I had this person that I know, and when we talk, she tells me that my husband does not do this thing. He only just drinks occasionally. He drinks occasionally, but he does not smoke. He doesn't even womanize. And I say, okay, does he drink in the house or what? I said, no, you have friends that used to go to the bar and drink, but all the things they are doing there, he does not do it though. And I told her something. I said, very soon. So two things. See that he's doing it, you do not know. But if he's not doing it now, he will start to do it. And true. After some time, she came to me and she was crying. I said, she just got her husband. He has a side chick. And he's smoking. So I told you. Protect your home. There's some friends, do away with them. If you have friends that speak bad about their spouses, that my husband is a useless man. Or that my wife, she doesn't even know. See your own wife. In fact, this is the example of a woman. It's not like the one I put at home. Don't set boundaries from them. The ones that say, are you not the man of the house? How can your wife be telling you what to say? How can you be accountable to her? Is she not? Are you not the head of the house? Set boundaries. Set boundaries. And from people that say, why do you have to cook for your husband? Why do you have to set boundaries from bad friends? That's what we're doing. So, strategy number 7, keep growing. Keep growing. Keep growing. See, a thriving marriage is a marriage of two growing people. Now, note that I did not say two perfect people. It's a marriage of two people that are working towards perfection. So there will not be a time that you will not learn. There will not be a time that you don't have something you will. Every single day in your marriage, keep growing. Keep growing. Grow spiritually. Grow emotionally. You are not meant to be stagnant. There is no room for stagnancy in creation. There is no room. If you see a bare piece of land, and it's either you build on that land or you farm on that land. Let me tell you something. If you don't do anything on that land, come back in the next 1 month. Weed will grow. There's no space for sitting on the fence. No space for stagnancy. Either you are moving forward or you are going backward. Either you are growing or you are receding. You are dwindling. So keep growing. Growth is a must. Growth is a must. A beautiful marriage is not luck. A beautiful marriage, a blissful marriage is not by chance. It is the reward of consistent wisdom and implementation. Now, for singles, if you are single, I want to focus this aspect on you. Marriage readiness is not by age, it is by alignment. It is not by age. And I'm going to run through this quickly. Our time is fast spent. is by alignment. You have to ask yourself, are you ready in your spiritual life, your spiritual foundation? Do you have a strong spiritual foundation? Do you know God for yourself? Because you can't do marriage without a strong spiritual foundation. You cannot. So, do you know God for yourself? Do you hear from God? Do you have a strong relationship with God? Number two, emotional maturity. Are you matured emotionally? Do you have emotional intelligence? Can you communicate? Can you forgive? Can you be corrected? Are you teachable? Are you teachable? Are you ready to learn new things? Number three, character. Are you consistent or stable? Are you ready to work on your character? There are some people that have bad characters and they say, no, this is how I am. Oh. This is how I am. I cannot change. That person is not ready for marriage. Because marriage will evolve you. You have to grow. Number four, purpose clarity. Do you know your assignment? Do you know what you are building your life around? Do you know where you are going? Because it is where you know where you're going. That's where you know who is going to follow you. It's when you know, oh, I'm going to London. That's when you know that you are going to take a plane that's going to take you to London. So if you meet someone that is going to the US, you know you can't get into the plane with the person because your destination is London. It's not the same thing. So I run through it again: spiritual foundation, emotional maturity, character, purpose clarity, and it's a lot. So we'll do a session for single. Just watch out for it. Because of time. And for married people, if you are married and things have been tense, or things have not been going well, or you've not been experiencing the bliss that you imagined, worry. Recalibration is possible. It can always work out. And here is a reset plan. Number one, return to honor. Change your tone, respect again. Now, what do I mean by return to honor? I know there are some times that the things we are going through actually has broken us to the extent that we don't even have any regards for honor. Now, we don't honor because of the person, we honor because of the position. So, return to honor. You know that this one, I've already made the mistake. How do I fix it? How do I fix it? Return to honor. So questions after the class we'll take give room for questions. So return to honor. Number two, evaluate repeated patterns rather. Evaluate repeating patterns. Review and evaluate what is the thing I'm doing that is not, that is not making this thing work. What is the thing that my spouse is doing that is not making this thing work? What is happening? Evaluate repeating patterns. Number three, start small. Start small. 10 minutes of daily connection, small consistent step. Start small. You don't have to take a big leap, little by little. Number four, eliminate third-party poison. Eliminate any third party that is not there to help you fix what is happening. Deal with them. And number five, have a team mindset. It is not a me versus you. It is us versus the problem. Now, in case, because I can hear someone asking, what if my partner is not in alignment with this reset thing? What if I'm trying to honor, but the more I honor, the more this person is just honoring me? So if you are on that page, you would need to see a counselor. I would advise you to see a marriage counselor because there are steps that you need to take. And the counselor will need to understand what the issue is to be able to give strategies that will help you work it out. There are some decisions that is peculiar for different situations. Right? So this is not a one-size-fits-all solution. So if there's an issue and there is an uncooperating partner, please see a counselor. All right. So let's go. And in conclusion, please, I need to make a commitment to intentionally work on your marriage. And if you are single, make a commitment that when you get married, you will make your marriage work, whether you're a man or a woman. So I want us to write down what I call the recalibration commitment. So number one myth I would unlearn is, so it's a commitment to resetting, to doing things a different way that you've always done it, so that you can get a different result. All right. So it starts with this, what is that thing I would unlearn? Which strategy will I implement this week? Which habit will I stop? What step will my recalibration start with? Remember that marriage is blissful if you commit to the process. Marriage is not automatic, it's not an absence of conflicts, but it will be successful when you are armed with the knowledge to navigate the challenges of marriage. Thank you very much for listening. I know a lot of people have questions. Our time is fast spent, so we'll just take one or two questions. If you have further questions, you can send me an email or send me a WhatsApp message, please. If you want to, if there's something you have to say, it's a personal question. I'm gonna drop my WhatsApp number now. So it's like Nigerian number +234 080 688 855552. So if you have a question, I will take 2 questions and then wrap this up. But if you still have questions or you want to talk to me, please send me a WhatsApp message. You can give me a call. I'm available for you. You don't have to do the journey alone. You don't have to walk. You're not alone. You don't have to walk the process alone. You can achieve the success with the needed guide and strategy. And when you put in these strategies, you experience marital bliss. When you put in the work, you put in the process, both men and women. In fact, we need more men to put in the work. That's a story for another day. So thank you very much. So questions. Thank you all for listening. I hope you've gotten one or two things. While waiting for the question, if you are engaged or seriously dating, we'll be starting our premarital counseling class by end of January. We started a new cohort. We just ended a cohort by December, so we're starting a new cohort. And please, I want to beg you. Thank you so much, Coach Ify. Thank you. I want to beg you. You need counseling. If you want to get married, go for counseling. And I'm not saying disregard church counseling, but there's many things that, sorry to say this, is not being expressed in church counseling. Right. So we are opening up a registration for a new cohort, which we're going to start end of January, and it runs for 3 to 6 months. So if you know someone that's engaged, need to be there, please let them know. I'm going to drop the flyer after the meeting. So, all right, while we wait for the questions, can we get a feedback? How do you feel? Wow. How was it? How is it? What did you learn? What did you learn? What is that thing that stood out for you? Let's get feedback. I'm going to quickly read our feedback. I want us to leave because our time is fast, but I want to thank everyone for staying to this moment. Thank you so much. Thank you. So Oyin said, thanks a lot. I had to dash up and that missing, but the bit I was around for was powerful. Thanks a lot for your labor of love. God bless you. Please, will there be a replay? Yes, there will be a replay. There will definitely be a replay. So, because the goal is to get the knowledge out there. That's the goal. The goal is to have marriages, a lot of marriages expressing bliss, aligning with God's plan. So there will be a replay. When the replay is available on YouTube, we'll send the link, we'll share the link. And if you want the you're welcome. If you want the I have we have a PDF bonus for everyone. Call. So it's either you have to choose. So you have to send me an email to choose the bonus you want. Is it 10 communication tips for marriage? For singles questions, singles always ask. What's the third one? Is marriage prayer and declaration sheets. And if you want all three, provided that we are going to all the premarital sessions we open to singles who are coming by faith. Actually, the thing is that the premarital class is not for singles who are coming by faith because there are some things that we'll be talking about. That is the curriculum is very intensive. So it's don't worry, we have sessions, we have sessions for singles in waiting, right? So there's a session for singles in waiting. We'll do a webinar towards that. But the premarital counseling class is for engaged couples because you have to be there with the spouse. You have to be exposed to different have to be exposed to the same information. So that's right. So Sada, don't worry, we get something cooking for for singles in waiting. We got something. I'm going to we actually last year we had a session on for singles that are waiting with intention. So I will share the replay link. We're going to put up the replay and share it so that people can have access to the information. We had a guest speaker and she shared a lot on how to maximize your season of waiting as a single person. All right. So, okay. Lolade says, Lolade, I celebrate you. She says the part where you spoke about boundaries, especially the bestest aspect, really resonated with me. I genuinely learned a lot. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that you learned a lot. And okay, Hoyin says boundaries really spoke to me too. Certain things I took for granted. A lot of things because we did not know. And the most what's the word I want to use for it? The thing that I fear most is the fact that ignorance is not an excuse. I don't know does not exonerate you from consequence. Hey, I don't know does not leave the consequences out. So knowledge is key. Please, after this webinar, go for knowledge. Read about marriage. Get books, marriage. Get books on relationship. Get books on communication. Attend seminars. That's the aspect of keep growing, keep learning, keep learning. We can't say 2 hours is not even enough to say all it entails. Because even with our counseling class that spans 3 to 6 months, there's still a lot to say. So after this, let this be like a launching stone or a launching pad into you getting more information about how to navigate marriage, about how to make your marriage peaceful. Please get information, get knowledge. You can't don't do marriage on ignorance. Okay, thank you so much. Elizabeth says this was so enlightening. I've learned a lot. God bless you. My God bless you too. Thank you for joining. My mom says the teaching was awesome. We chat you privately. Okay, if it's a question that is personal, you can chat me privately. And we have counselors on whatever you say remains, confidential. We keep every information confidential, right? So, all right, thank you, everyone. You have been so amazing. So, please let me drop the email. Just send an email to this email address if you want any of our gifts, our freebies, our bonus. So for singles, you really, I'm telling you, you really want to this to read that question singles ask. Question singles ask. Well, questions you need to ask before you say I do. Because if asking those questions will save your life. So please send a mail to exceptionalvirtuouswomen@gmail.com and would get the freebies to you. Also, the slide for this